Hi guys, it's Amy with A2Z Stamping, and today I wanted to show you how to make this cute little favor box. It's kind of in a triangle shape. I have candy in mine. It can hold all sorts of things. Let me give you the measurements here. So the base of it measures 3.5 inches by 2 inches, and it's about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 tall. So these would be fun for classroom treats, thank you gifts, party favors, baby shower, whatever you need little treats for, and they're really easy to make. So let me show you. All right, so you need a piece of designer series paper, or you could stamp your own image. If you have something cute, you could do, but I'm using a piece of designer series paper from the Tranquil Textures suite. And this here, you need the paper cut at 9 by 7.5 inches, and you're gonna need your scoring tool. I use the Simply Score, so I'm gonna put that right up here. And it doesn't fit all the way on the screen, but I think you can see the across the top. So we're gonna feed it in the long way, so the 9-inch length is at the top. And we're just gonna score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, so I'm gonna flip this around, 6.5 inches. All right, and you'll notice this end is wider than this one. This one's only 2 inches, and this one's 2.5 inches, okay? So just remember where your wider end is. Mine happens to be right here. So I'm gonna move it to the top, and we're gonna score this at 2 inches and at 5.5 inches. And then I'm gonna move that wider end back over to the right, and I'm gonna score it just to this first score line right here. It might be hard to see, but you'll be able to feel there's a score line right there. So at the 2-inch mark, we're gonna move 1/2 inch over. So at 1.5, I'm gonna score it just to that first line. And at 4.5, I'm gonna score it. So just a 1/2 inch from this line, right to the 2-inch line. All right, and then we're gonna flip it around and do the exact same thing, except now it's over here. We want it to match these two that we just did. So it will be, this one will be right here at 4.5, because we're going a 1/2 inch over from this line right here, and we're gonna go a 1/2 inch over from this line right here. All right, so this is what it looks like, and I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better on this side. So I will show you. So this is what it now looks like, and of course we need to grab our scissors and do a little trimming. So let's go ahead and start on the end. Here's those 2 little 1/2 inch flaps we just did right there. So we're gonna cut off the 2 little rectangles next to those flaps. So we're gonna cut off this one, but go ahead and cut all the way across the flap so that your flap, you know, can move like this. All right, so same on this side. We're gonna cut this one off, and then all the way and cut through the flap. There we go. So now I have 2 flaps right here. Okay, and then same thing on the other side, except we're gonna cut off this whole long rectangle. So we're gonna leave the flap, and then we're gonna cut this whole thing off. But all the way across the flap. There we go. That should pull right out. And same with this side. And then cut off right here. All right, so you can save these pieces if you want to. So this is what we're left with. Okay, and let's just go ahead and burnish all of these. So we should have 1, 2 little folds right here, and 3. So 3 along here, and then our little flaps. And these 2. All right. Then I'm gonna grab my corner rounder, and I'm just gonna round these 2 corners right here. So I have this long strip. So I'm gonna feed it in to my corner rounder and line it up and press, and then this side. All right, and so there we go. You don't have to round your corners. I just think it looks a little bit nicer. And the corner rounder's on the trio punch. Okay, so this is what we've got now. And so now we're gonna put it together. So I'm gonna actually flip it over so the outside of my box is showing. And I wanna put tear and tape on the 4 flaps. So I'm just gonna grab that right here. You can use any strong adhesive that you have. Fast Fuse would work if you still happen to have any of that. But the tear and tape works great, and it's strong enough for boxes, which is what I want, so it stays together. I do not want my box coming apart. And if you do it with SNAIL, it can come apart. SNAIL's just not quite strong enough to hold a box with goodies in it. Okay. You could also use multi-purpose glue. You just need to give it a few seconds to dry. Okay, so I got those on there, and then let's go ahead and peel these off. 1, 2, come on, 3, and 4. Okay. And to put the box together, just take one piece at a time. Just go ahead and take your flap, line it up. It's just like a regular box, so just go ahead and line it up and press. Okay, so line it up and press, and then this side right here. Line it up and press, and the fourth one. All right. Okay, so this is what my box looks like. Now you want to take your end and just kind of press them in a little. Just kind of pinch it together so your inside, or so that it kind of bends, so that this will fold right over, and it should fit just like so. All right. And sometimes you have to fuss with it just a little to get it to fold in the way you want it, but it doesn't need to go real tight or anything, just enough so that your flap lines up perfectly with the bottom. Okay, so at this point you would want to fill with your treats, and of course I have chocolate. I mean, that's what I always like to give as treats, so I'm putting my goodies in there, and it can hold quite a lot. Next thing you want to do, if you want to seal it shut, you could stick a little adhesive there and actually seal it shut. I'm just going to tie mine with a ribbon. So I have here the Tranquil Tide mini ruffled ribbon. And I'm going to, let's see, let me measure out a little bit of ribbon here. So I want about, let's see, I just don't want to cut off too much. Okay, that looks about right. I'm going to cut off. I'm always wasting ribbon, and my goal is to not waste so much. Okay, so I'm going to lay this flat. This ruffled ribbon is so cute. And I'm just going to tie it right around the front, a bow on the front. So give that a good, and don't worry about where it's at right now, because we can move it over as soon as we're done tying our bow. Okay, now it looks like this end's a lot shorter than that end. I might have to do that over again. Okay, let's get it a little more even this time. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Maybe if I turn it this way, might be a little easier. Okay. Oh, you guys, seriously. I can't even tie the knot right now. Okay, I just don't like it twisting on me. There we go. Now let's do, turn it this way and do my bow. Go around. Again, this is when I feel like I have too many fingers. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's my bow, and that's a little bit bigger than I want it to be. Okay, and I'll trim this end just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to slide this down just a tiny bit. All right, so then I need to make a cute little tag. So I grabbed the Eastern Beauty stamp set. Oops, dumping all my stamps out. I grabbed the Eastern Beauty stamp set because I want to use the sentiment, let's be friends forever. I love that. So I need a scrap piece of Whisper White. Let me grab one out here. Oh, I must have a scrap piece somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to stamp it in the Fresh Fig. So on this one here, I stamped it in soft seafoam since that matched the paper, but this paper here, which these are both from the Tranquil Texture suite. This one though has a lot more of the Fresh Fig showing, so I wanted to bring a little bit more of that out. So let me go ahead and ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this. Actually, I'm going to stamp it this way, right here. Let's be friends forever. All right, and grab my chamois, clean off. That's nice and clean. Close up my ink. Then I grabbed this, this is the brand new punch. I forget what it's called. Darling Detail Punch. I don't remember. It's at the bottom of the screen, but it's kind of like this square with the cutout corners. Kind of cool. So this barely fits in there, but it fits. So I'm going to just line it up and punch. Isn't that fun? How it makes that fun little square. Then I grab my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I have some mint macaron cardstock here, and I'm just going to punch out a circle. All right, close that up, and I'm going to stick this on here. Let me grab my snail. I did pop this one up with dimensionals, but I'm not sure I love that, so I'm going to try this one with just snail adhesive and see if I like it better. So this is going right here. Okay, and then I'm going to stick a glue dot on the back, and it's going to go on right here. Let's be friends forever. And that polka dot looks adorable with the polka dotted paper. And that is my cute little box. Isn't that adorable? And again, the sides are just puckered in. You could decorate this a million different ways though if you want. You could put just something cute on the tag. There's really a lot of different things you can do. And here's the one I did earlier. Clearly my bow is much bigger on this one. I think I like the bigger bow. I'm not sure. So anyway, these are so quick and easy. And I hope you'll give them a try. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks guys. Bye.